Israel-Gaza Iran War News Live Update. My experience at anti-Israel protests was disturbing. Pro-Hamas protesters carrying nearly 2 miles of red cloth formed a red line around the White House on Saturday to protest President Joe Biden's re-election due to his support for Israel. I observed lunacy for most of the protest. One man wearing sunglasses and a mask called himself a terrorist. He later marched with a sign reading Jihad of Victory or Martyrdom, glorifying Hamas armed branch, Al-Qassam. Another man held a bloodied Biden mask while chanting Intifada Revolution and We Are All the Intifada. Others climbed Lafayette Park sculptures in front of the White House and strung banners or painted graffiti. Graffiti included F*** America KKK, Down with United States, Al-Qassam, Sick, Make Us Proud, Kill Another Soldier Now, and Israel is a terrorist state. Code Pink, an anti-war group with close ties to the Chinese Communist Party that denied the Uyghur massacre, brandished posters reading Stop Funding War Crimes and Lift the Siege of Gaza. One aggressive sign blamed Biden for an anti-Israel protester's self-immolation earlier this year, while another blasted Netanyahu, mocking Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Protesters carried big images of Netanyahu and Biden with bleeding eyes and bloody jaws. The International Youth and Students for Social Equality posted No to World War III flyers on a table. Stop U.S.-NATO assault in Ukraine against Russia. As expected, terrorist sympathizers support Russia. Protesters from the Progressive Labor Party carried a placard reading Communism will set us free. I received their latest challenge newspaper, which proclaimed capitalism and liberation are incompatible. While those groups complained about capitalism, merchants profited from the free market. One man sold keffiyehs, while others sold $20 bespoke t-shirts with the slogan, Surround the White House, join the 2-mile-long People's Red Line. Like the anti-Israel encampment at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in recent months, this was malicious. Similar unsettling evidence of absolute idiocy were seen. University officials observed the illegal campsite as dozens of tents were pitching. After the third day of warnings, UW-Madison police made multiple arrests, including a tenured gender studies professor who identified as a polyamorous obese black queer handicapped femme. The campsite resurged within hours, and the administration negotiated instead of enforcing the restrictions. After 12 days, the institution reached a compromise that satisfied many demonstrators. Free Plan B contraceptives and condoms were supplied in the occupied zone. One protester told me people were having sex in the tents and that organizers had problems enforcing marijuana bans. We saw many drug users in the campground. One student supported Iran and stated Israel had it coming about the October 7, 2023 strike. At least he admitted the massacre, which some encampment members disregarded as a conspiracy idea. Others acknowledged the violence but denied Hamas raped anyone. Again, UW-Madison protesters held provocative banners, including a quotation from CCP mass murderer Mao Zedong, political power springs from the barrels of guns. At the Wisconsin state capitol, terrorist sympathizers chalked power to Hezbollah. At the campsite, graduate students and professors gave teach-ins on social justice issues vaguely related to Palestinians almost daily. I watched Disability Justice and Palestinian Liberation, Cops Off-Campus Movements, No Borders in the Labor Struggle, Solidarity, Imperialism, and Liberation Struggles, and Reproductive Justice in Gaza. Militarism in research at UW-Madison was the most bizarre, but none of these supplied useful information. The graduate student who presented said the U.S. military funding breast cancer research is bad. Numerous protesters were not campus students. I saw a family with 2 toddlers pitching a tent. The most upsetting program in the campground was Kids for Palestine, Story Time, Arts and Crafts, Chants and Dance Party. There, campaigners read to elementary and preschoolers about Israel, and the kids took turns leading horrific chants of From the River to the Sea, Palestine will be free. Hundreds of university teachers and staff walked out in support of the student demonstrators and tried to persuade UW-Madison to call for a permanent Gaza ceasefire. I've spent the past month talking to and attending pro-Hamas protests. I'm confident that most of them don't understand the concerns. I asked demonstrators about the conflict at UW-Madison, but they generally avoided or misrepresented the facts. One kid said he came there for the vibes, which was common. TikTok and other social media users distribute a lot of misinformation. Far-left professors promote activity and lie about Israel. Finally, protesting is the ultimate virtue signal, and many students showed up without truly supporting Palestinians due to peer pressure.